So we had a sample of about 1,000 people who are fairly successful in life, and we were asking them, where are you coming from in terms of the type of school, and how much salary did you get to begin your life at the beginning of your career. And in that we find that those people who went to private schools, the top tier private schools, the high fee ones, who teach in English and give better quality education, as opposed to say government or the low tier private sector, the difference in salaries between the two was about 125%. Right? So if a person from government tier is getting a start of 25, 36,000, the person coming from the elite private school will get 55, 60,000 start in salary terms. And that's massive, right? And that's just the start of their career. We also find that the rate of increase of salary for people who are from that elite private school, that is also higher than the one that people from government school was getting, which means that at any point in their career, 10 years, 15 years down the road, the distance between them would have increased even further rather than being narrowed. Education should be seen as not just as a means to an end, that we are preparing people for the marketplace, but also we are preparing citizens. They are ends in themselves. It's a tool for social policy also, for social cohesion, for allowing mobility, for having a more merit-based society, a fairer society, and so on. That's how a lot of people see education and some of the other social sectors. Now, if you're going to predicate the access to good schools on the basis of just income, then clearly you're going in the opposite direction, right? You're increasing the already existing income differentials across generations as well. So a poor person sends a child to a poorer school, a rich person sends her child to a richer school. The two have very different trajectories. To the next generation, the distances are even larger between them. And that's something that the society needs to be very aware of and work against in terms of creating opportunities in education that allow cross links to happen. The policy solutions can be many. I mean, one is, of course, to raise the quality of the public sector system, because that's where that's the bare minimum that you're providing to everyone. Everyone has access to it because it's free, etc. You raise the minimum bar so that the distance between the top schools or good schools and that bar, at least you're giving a minimum quality education to people, which we are not. The other is that for selected groups that are creating where the problem is more acute, generations that have been left out of education, rural areas, you could have differential incentives being built, whether through vouchers, through private-public partnerships, through any kind of school support programs that, or scholarship schemes like the PEEF that Punjab has, making its scale a lot larger. All of those could help equalize access, or at least recognize the merit of people and then give them access to better quality schools and colleges and universities. We would expect that, given that there is democracy and vote counting and people are voting in their representatives, their priorities of the people should be aggregating to a larger level, which create the priorities for the leaders also. But clearly that's not happening, right? Education in the public sector has been fairly poor throughout and is very poor right now also. So where is that impetus or pressure on the representatives who have to go to the people again next year? Where is the pressure on them to show quality improvements in education, quality improvements in health and other social, even drinking water and so on? We don't see that pressure at all. And so at least I'm not clear how the voter preferences are being aggregated and creating the larger priorities for, say, Punjabs and wherever else, all the provinces and so on, and even national priorities, right? I think that partly the explanation has to be the interruptions in democracy that we've had throughout, whether because of military governments or otherwise, whatever the level. So local government, provincial, federal, we have had interruptions in the history of and development of political parties, and so on and so forth. So all of our democratic institutions have been interrupted time and again over our history, and that must surely be a part of the explanation of why this is happening. Clearly, the articulation of people's preferences and their needs and what can give them a better life is not showing on the other side in terms of what should be imperative for government to do.